Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Dune Imperium. Thank you so much for all your comments, your likes, really do appreciate a lot. One thing that I didn't really fully was aware of was that the app that the game kind of ships with, you can basically get it for free from the App Store. I looked at it, so don't get me wrong, I know that it's around and it basically helps you getting rid of the House Hagal cards. Personally, I prefer the cards because I don't want, if I play a board game, typically I really prefer to play a board game. But what I was not aware of is that the deck in the app, or the House Hagal deck in the app, comes with 2 extra cards. And those 2 extra cards do exactly this that I was kind of missing here, and that's really messing around with this deck, removing cards. So in the app there are 2 cards in there, and randomly these cards, then I think it's really randomly, I checked a couple of those instances in the app in the meantime, they're removing pretty much 2 cards when this card shows up. There were great comments out there, you should use the app, some say don't use the app, just remove a card at the end of every round or something like that. But I think there was one particularly card which I think in this case really helps me, and that was a very pragmatic approach, simply shuffling in 2 of those 2p cards into the House Hagal deck. Basically we're removing some cards from that depending on the player count, and I will shuffle those cards in now into the remainder of the deck. I have to pay attention because they're the same cards otherwise, so I have to see that this is a 2p card then. But when this shows up, I will then roll a 10-sided die twice, and based on the result I will then remove 2 cards from that. This way you really can refresh the market. And I agree with a lot of your comments, this is something that really should have been in the game as from the get-go. And with that, and with the solo rules that are kind of a little bit poorer than the multiplayer rules, I really tend to believe that the solo mode came relatively late to the party, so maybe it was still kind of, I'm only guessing here, but I agree, having something that messes with the market with the offering here is typically something that should be done. But okay, I will play it as of today, as of round 3, and again really do appreciate all your comments, your suggestions there. So I will shuffle in those 2 cards in the remainder of the House Hagal deck, and then we should be able to start our next round. As usual, we will start our next round by revealing the next card, and then there's only one more round, then they will have 3 actions left. So I really need to speed things up. I need to get my Swordmaster relatively soon, but let's see about that. That's Cloak and Dagger. Not bad. First place gets 2 intrigue cards and a faction bump, which definitely is not a bad thing. Second place, 1 spice and an intrigue card, so even being second here isn't bad. But let's check out our combat area here. Right now only Earl Memnon Thorwald has still a lot of troops in their garrison, so that will be a tough one. So definitely we could go for second place, and that's still okay-ish, I would say. As for this round, I'm the starting player, so we will start with drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So we have 1 card left in the deck. We can check it out because of our prescience. So that's the Seek Allies card, not the strongest card in the world. And I also received a comment who said, definitely remove this card or so, or he's always removing this card as quickly as possible. So maybe I should consider that. But let's see what we got here. Okay, we have our Signet Ring, not too terrible. We have the Spice Hunter, which is a cool card. I mean, we can still use it, but with a Fremen Bond, it would also give us 1 extra spice. Never a bad thing. Convincing Argument, great. We get a buying power and another dagger. Usually I would say let's totally go for the Signet Ring right now, but we know what card we draw. Of course, it gives us some more options, sending someone basically to all of those factions. Again, that's definitely not a bad thing. But how can we get some actual money this round? Most likely by going here to the Chome. The thing is, I can get 3 for nothing actually, or we would rather wait and maybe get to 3. This would give us the 8 for the Swordmaster, and there is a way we can do that. And I think we have to actually, I really need the extra Swordmaster, my extra agent, as soon as possible, I guess. So we could send someone to the Imperial Basin. Okay, I think I have to do that. So we are playing the Dune, the desert planet, which allows me to send an agent in here. It doesn't cost us anything. We get one basically from this space, and because of the makers we have an extra one, and this brings us to 3 spice in total, which we then can leverage for the Chome board. That's actually great, so we can definitely gain some Solari this round. Unfortunately, we don't have any troops in our garrison, which means we cannot move anything onto the battlefield, but I still think that this was worth it. So yeah, this was the card we have played. So let's not just yet put it on the discard pile, because I think that's important. It still stays in our played area. Then we are moving over to Glosso the Beast Raban. And one thing I forgot for him too was to award him with 4 extra spice. Solari, because he basically got 2nd place, yeah, from this last conflict here. With 1 more, he would be able to get another victory point, because again, they're cashing those stuff in. And oof, I think, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So let's see what the card is. And that's the 2-player card. I really have to pay attention here. So we are not doing anything else with this card, but really refreshing the market. And then we will draw again. So let's roll the first die. And that's a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly. So this card is gone. And again, the app will tell you in a very nice way which card to remove. Let's do that again. We have to keep re-rolling, and that's the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. See, oh, that's a nice card. So those 2 cards are gone from the game. We will reveal new ones right off the bat. Bene Gesserit initiate. Power play. Gain 2 influence instead of 1. Trash this card. Wow, very, very powerful. That's a great card actually. But we are not done yet with Glosso's turn, as we just used this card for this, and that's the fold space, which means, no, I think that's still okay. They will send their first agent here to fold space. The fold space is the only place which gives you this fold space cards. Also not terrible cards, very versatile, but okay, I take it. So they will move up the Spacing Guild in support track here. And that's that. I take that. That was not a bad result at all. Let's draw the card for Thorwald. And that's the 1P card. So we are not doing not refreshing the market in this case. They will send someone to Arakeen. Yeah, that's of course great for them, because not only will they get what it's printed here on this card, and that's a combat space. So they get an extra cube. This cube goes into the middle area. We're moving 2 more there because it's a combat space. So they're already at 3 here. And then they will trigger their Signet Ring ability. But because they're controlling Arakeen, they also get another Solarian. It doesn't really matter who goes there. The party or the family that controls these spaces will get it. And yeah, the Signet Ring ability simply gives them Spice Horde, another piece of spice. That was again another very, very nice card for them. Then it's back to us. We want to sell some melange, spice melange. I think in this case it doesn't really matter which card we are playing, so we will go for the Spice Hunter. Again, we are looking for this icon here. We are selling some melange. We will send 3 of our melange, and yeah, guess what? This gives us 8 tasty little Solari. So next round we will be able to get our Swordmaster here, if we get the right card, that is, of course, but at least it ties us or puts us into even mode with our AI faction, because they will also get the 3rd meeple. Okay, this card has been played too. The spice has been paid. Let's move back to the beast. That's another one. So again, we are rolling the die. That's the 3. This one is gone. And 8 should be this. Oh, the power play is gone again. Oh, that's a bummer. Let's see. Chome Directorship. I think I have seen this before. And the Carry-All. The Carry-All, double the base, not bonus spicy. Oh, with this 8, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a very nice card, actually. That's a very powerful card. And it also gives you extra spice if you play it in a reveal turn. Pretty powerful, actually. And the Chome Directorship simply gives you, or for 8, you basically can increase your reputation in all of those factions that are printed here. And in a reveal turn, that's 3 Solaris. Really, really, really powerful too. Let's do this. We are discarding it. We are drawing new. And that's Carthag. They can go there actually. And I guess that's pretty terrible too. So they will move in here. They will simply only, quote unquote, get one of their army cubes out. So they're definitely scoring second place. And for them, it's really a big deal actually. They get another spice. They get another intrigue card, and they will trade 3 intrigue cards for 1 victory point. And the same will be true for, oh come on, House Thorwald here. This will be, will go down like crazy actually. Very bad. They're not moving any more troops because they simply don't have any more troops. And then last but not least, it's Earl Memnon, the Harvest Spice Space. There is no space with bonus spice. Yeah, reveal another card. So we will do that. And Arakeen, that has already been taken. And okay, the still suits. Also, maybe that's even okay in this instance. So they will go in here. They will only get the faction bump in this case, which is kind of okay. Of course, faction bump is never a good thing. It's a combat space, so they're moving to more troops into combat. They're pretty much overachieving here, which for us is really a good thing for the next round to come. I believe with the Kwisatz Haderach rules or so, I think there is some advanced rule as far as I remember. I really need to check it out, where they say they are not doing this if they're already leading or so, or whatever. I think there was something, but in this case, yeah, we are playing on the, let's say, normal difficulty level. It means really whenever you see this happen, they will move their troops in there. For us, again, it's good. They still have 2 more troops in their garrison, but at least there is some light hope for some more future conflicts, that is. Okay, that was pretty much the end of the normal round. I now do my reveal turn. So what are we revealing? So this has been played before. I have not played my favorite subject, but that's okay. We don't need it just yet. So we have 3 money and 1 sword. The sword doesn't do anything for us. It only counts if you really send some actual troops into the combat. And obviously we didn't. And that's 3 plus the 2 from the High Council, which we have bought our place during the last turn. So definitely, I think that was quite an okay investment. So again, we have 5 persuasion. Carry all seems very, very attractive. The guild administrator would allow us to trash a card. That's also not bad. And we can go to the spacing guild, and we can go to Arrakis, at least to some of those harvesting spaces. Yeah, trashing some cards could be beneficial at some point in time. Getting rid of some of those convincing arguments, for example. And we still have 3 more buying power. We could go for the Bene Gesserit Initiate there, which is also a very versatile card, allows us to draw extra card and comes with some stuff. But the carry all really getting some more spice out. It's pretty heavy, but now we have a lot of money already. That's interesting. No, I think I will go for the Bene Gesserit here first. Let's go for it. Then we reveal a new card. We still have 2 more buying power, and we have the Imperial Spy again. And but I would like to have some Fremen too, because of our Fremen bond. The Fremen bond is now out actually, so we are most likely, we are reshuffling our deck. So it could still make sense. But the Imperial Spy for another of these cards is pretty powerful. Let's go for the Imperial Spy. So this was our buying power. Oh, Dr. Yue. Oh, nice. Also very inexpensive card, but also comes with some very great abilities, actually. We are moving into combat. It's relatively clear how this one will turn out. So that's 2 and that's 10 already. We are still drawing those cards. I mean, I don't know what happens here. So in theory, it should be Raban first. So they get 4 more. That's at least something, but yeah, as we see, already lost. I'm really not sure if you should do this or not, if it's that clear, but I will follow the rules as written. So they're at 13, yes, absolutely. They have won that conflict. They have really lost a lot of troops over this conflict. That's at least some comfort to me. But of course, they will still get very, very useful stuff. House Thorwald, they will increase their reputation. That will be the lowest reputation they have. And in fact, that's the Emperor. So we will move them up to 1. And they will get 2 intrigue cards, so we will draw them from the top of the deck, not looking at those. Problem is, they have 1 intrigue card, so they will cash it in right away. So those cards are discarded, but they have just received their 2nd victory point already. Hooray! And the beast will simply get 1 more spice and 1 intrigue card as well. So they're at 2. So they need 1 more, and then they will also cash it in for victory point. But here they also have already 6 Solari, which they will most likely also sooner or later cash in for another victory point too. So I think the beast right now is in a very, very cool shape. Let's do our maker step before we are recalling all of our agents here. So this gets a spice, this gets a spice, and now we are removing all of our meeples and then move into the next round. Let's reveal the next conflict card, and that's also a relatively weak one. Raid stockpiles. I mean, 3 spies and an intrigue card isn't bad, but we have revealed their sword masters, so they will get it right away. On the novice level, by the way, it's 1 more card they would have to flip over, so only as of round 5 or so they would be allowed to get their agent, but in this case, yeah, that's what it is. I think those have to go back too. And Golossu, the beast, Raban, will be the starting player. So let's see what he's up to. The Hall of Oratory. That's not a bad card for us, actually. So the beast will send his first meeple agent over there, and it's simply 1 of their army cube. It's not a combat space, so it only goes into the garrison, pretty much preparing for the fight to come. But keep in mind, they have 3 agents now, so this is not really stalling, it's really prepping. I think this works out okay for them. Next, it's Earl Memnon, and he's going to fold space, basically improving their relation there too. That's all they will do here. The thing is, they will move in here, so they have just received their 3rd victory point. You must be kidding me. Before I make any decisions, let's have a look at the topmost card. I already started. Okay, that's Reconnaissance. That's a very, very, very poor card, actually. I mean, it's okay. We can still use it for 1 extra buying power, but not really something that's groundbreaking. But still, we are going to maybe play the Bene Gesserit Initiate now. That lets us draw a card, and maybe that's not the worst thing to do, right? And we can go to the Landsrat Council with that. I think that's the key piece. Yeah, let's do that. So the Bene Gesserit will be played in here. She allows us to send someone to the Landsrat. We are going for the Swordmaster. We have to spend 8 of these awful Solari, and this allows us to take our Swordmaster. Amazing. So we still have 2 more actions to go, but again, they got it for free. I have to work for it. So they have really full 3 meeples this round. I only really netted with 2. In the end, and we lost some money for that, some serious money there. But again, not complaining here. That's how the game goes. But I would really like to get at least 1 victory point sooner or later. And Beast Raban, oh come on, he's rallying the troops, basically doing the same thing. Oh, I think you cannot see that, apologies. Doing the same thing that Earl Memnon did during round 1 or 2, I believe. Ah, that's terrible. Still, it's not a combat space, so they are not allowed to send those troops into the combat area just yet, but they're really in a good shape. Actually, both are here. And by the way, the app did confirm that I was playing this right, starting with 3 cubes in here, because the app really tells you how to set up the solo game. So this is definitely something that's very nice, clarifying some of those. Really, it tells you that all of the houses on this level gets 3 cubes in there. And when you really go for the novice level, then it tells you only the player gets to place 3 cubes in here. So yes, you definitely do start with some cubes in this garrison right from the get-go. So definitely a nice confirmation here too. And then it's House Thorwald, and we're almost through the deck. That's secrets here, which means they will increase their reputation once more, so they're already at 4 victory points. I have read a lot of comments who told me, hey, I won this game on easy mode 2 times out of 2 and 1 times out of 2 for the, let's say, this normal difficulty level. I mean, again, I haven't really played that game a lot, so I'm definitely lacking out some of the nuances here and ultimately don't really have an idea what I'm doing here. But I mean, either I'm really now incredibly unlucky, but what's happening here, that's really tough. It's really tough. I mean, those guys are storming the victory point chart here like crazy, especially Earl Memnon here. But yeah, let's see about that. It's still fun to play, great fun to play, and I really like it this way rather than having it too easy. I really do like a challenge. I really want to feel rewarded when I actually do win. But wow, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Please, please, please let me know. But okay, it's our turn, and I think it's time to use our favorite subject plot card. We are playing it as part of our agent turn. This simply gives us one here at the Emperor track. So this card is gone out of the game, I take it. Then I guess we are playing... Oh, wait a second. One thing I forgot. Of course, when I played the Bene Gesserit, I would have been allowed to draw an extra card. I know what it was. It doesn't really change my idea, but this is another buying power I think we should need. And then we will use our prescience ability. Okay, that's the signet ring that will come up. But now we are still playing, basically the Imperial Spy. So we will send our agent here to Wealth, which simply gives us 2 ugly Solari. And it's only the Solari that really bothers me. The spice, the water, that's okay, but these discs, I don't know. But we get some money here, that's not a bad thing. Again, we went here, so we will get another reputation here. So hooray! We are finally in the game with 1 victory point. Isn't that nice? And I guess we are trashing this card right away. Yeah, why not? For 1 more intrigue card, which is never a bad thing. That's a combat card. Staged incident. Quite amazing. Lose 3 of your troops in the conflict, so we have to move them in. But this would give us 1 immediate victory point. So if we're really fighting out there and say, I don't want spies or whatever, I want simply the victory point, that's a perfect thing to do. Yeah, let's definitely hold on to this card. Nice. And it's finally the last. Okay, it's the Harvest Spies, and yes, they will totally go in there. Right now, they have both basically bonus spies, but in this case, they will go to the most total results. So they will get 3 plus the 1. That's 4. I think in total it will bring them up to 5. So I will exchange what they have with a 5. 2 more, and they will also gain a victory point for that. It's a combat space, so they are moving 2 troops from the garrison into the combat area. Oof, that's a tough one. And then our house Hagaldeg is pretty much empty, so I will reshuffle all those cards, and then we will do the final action for Earl Memnon. So, final action, and that's another fold space, which they already visited, so we keep drawing, and that's the Steel Suits, and that's terrible. That's truly insane. So they will bump up their reputation with the Fremen once more. It's a combat space, so not only are they now already halfway through the game, they will also tie in here in the combat space. And for a split second I was thinking about maybe going in there for 2nd place. I mean, this is 2 extra spies, but I think now I'm no longer going to. For us, that's really not pretty. I guess we are playing the reconnaissance. I think that's the only useful thing to do, right? So we will send our last remaining agent into Carthage. We will get 1 of our cubes. We are not deploying him to combat. He simply goes to the garrison for the next round to come or so. But this at least gives us 1 more intrigue cards, and that's the refocus. Another plot card. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck, then draw a card. Maybe not the worst thing in the world, but also not the most powerful card of them. I mean, I will take it, but yeah, that wasn't great at all. Then let's do our reveal turn. Here is 1 buying power, a sword, a dagger, which we can't use, so we can discard it. This is nothing again. Maybe we really should follow this and trash this card as soon as possible. Maybe. No, this was last, or was it last round? Oh, I think. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We discarded the Imperial Spy. That was the plan. I wanted the right. So yeah, we have basically 1 plus the 2 from the High Council. So 3 buying power in total. The Spacing Guild isn't bad. It gives us a card and potentially something, some points, some buying power. But the Guild Administrator, also nice, helps us to discard a card. And we can do that. We don't have to do that. And Dr. Yu is also pretty nice. On the other hand, Arrakis Liaison, with our Fremen bond, which might show up sooner or later, could also be helpful. But Landsrat, I'm not sure. I already did 2 out of 5 things at the Landsrat up there, so I'm not sure how often I will still go there. That's really not a great thing. So I guess I will go with Dr. Yui for now for 1 point. We will, yeah, this, come on, the Death Commando. That's a nice card with a Fremen bond. That's 3 military power. So I have 2 more, so it's either the Guild Administrator or the Liaison. I don't have to buy that, of course. And yeah, just to do, I think, yeah, that's also not bad actually. Let's go for the Guild Administrator, allowing us to trash some more cards. Okay, what will show up? The Guild Ambassador. Woof! That's really not bad, but it's a Landsrat. So again, Landsrat is a little bit tricky unless you're going to the Hall of Oratory. Okay, we are moving into the combat. So rather interesting things. So they're both at 4 actually. I never appear anymore. So the first card is for the Beast, and oh, he doesn't get anything, which means, oh wow, they will get 5 more actually. So they're at 9, so they have definitely won this fight. House Thorwald, which means they get yet another intrigue card. They will get 3 spies. That's definitely something. 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, House Raban will get 2. They will spend 5 more for an extra victory point here. Okay, now I'm really behind, but okay, that's life, I guess. So those troops are gone. That's at least something. We are doing the Makers, which is rather interesting. So here we have now a very tasty spot for some spice. We are not doing this here. We are returning all of our meeples and then are moving into the next round. And I think I will do 1 more round this video. So let's reveal our next card. Oh, wow. Desert Power. 1 victory point, 1 water for first place. I think this is really something worth fighting for this round. But of course, my opponents know that too. And yeah, he still has some cubes in there. This is really tough. Really, these troop power they have, that's really, truly insane actually. But okay, let's start the round. Thorwald is first and they will go to Arakeen, which again is bad. So they go in here. Yeah, that's really terrible actually. They will gain an extra troop and this troop immediately goes into the combat area. They will use their Signet Ring ability. They will also gain 1 Solari because they're controlling this space. And the Signet Ring brings them to 5 spies in total already. You must be kidding me. And then it's us. This is our hand of cards. We do have the Prescience ability, which means we can check out the topmost card, Convincing Argument. Good buying power, but I really have to get rid of those cards sooner or later. At least one of those. Because we have the High Council card that already gives us 2. Yeah, maybe the spice must flow. Maybe we should go for this or so. Let's see about that. Again, I have to gamble like crazy here, guys. I really want to win this conflict. So I guess we are playing Dune the Desert Planet to secure ourselves a contract in here. This gives us 3 disgusting Solari, right? Yep. Yeah, okay, then this is basically everything that we are doing with this card. And again, preparing ourselves for our next move. This could really go terribly wrong right now, but then it is what it is. I have to try at least. Then it's Golosso the Beast Raban. He will first remove 2 cards. So let's see, 7, 8, that's that. Oh, the carry-all was actually quite nice. Oh, we have to roll before we are doing this. 1, 2, 3, that's, oh wow, the Chome Directorship, also very, very nice card. Worm Riders, Fremen card, oh, that's a nice one. Wow, that's a very nice one. And Lady Jessica is out, and obviously she's a very powerful character. When we buy her, we get 1 faction bump. We can basically send her nearly everywhere, and yeah, she gives us a lot of fighting power and buying power. So I think she's really great, but I'm pretty sure I will not be able to get her this round or any round soon. Then let's continue drawing here. That's another Arakeen card. This is something which I don't know if the app would do that really twice in a row, or if she would artificially, in theory, I think they would shuffle the deck and it could come out. So yeah, I think I will totally trigger this card again. So Lady Jessica could be gone already. And yes, she is actually. Are you kidding me? and 2. That's the, oh wow, really lost a lot of cool cards. Firm grip, Emperor card. Very nice one. Ooh, that's tasty. And the Sardaukar Legion. And yeah, this is pretty insane. 2 troops. And if we would, with this card, go to a combat space, for example, I think, no, we cannot go to a combat space with that card. No, we can't. But at least it allows us to prep some of our troops for free, which is pretty powerful. But maybe the beast will finally take his turn. And no! This was exactly the space I was prepping for. This is why I wanted to get that money. I told you I had to gamble, but this is bad. Bad beyond belief. This is insane. Bam. 4 more dudes, or troops in this case, will go to the garrison. They're at 7 now. Yeah, that was insane. That was really bad. I believe there is a card that allows you to move to an occupied space. Not 100% sure now if that was an entry card or one of those Dune card, Imperium cards or so, but wow, that's so bad. Okay, they will go, and they'll go to Carthage, of course. That's basically my backup plan. These guys are really teaming up against me, and I'm the one who is behind. Really, guys, it's not me. So they will get 1 troop, and this troop immediately goes into the combat area too. I think that's about it. They don't have any extra troops down there, no. But this was the most amount of damage they could do to my turn. Really, I have no clue what I'm doing now. But I guess just to give me some options, I may want to use the refocus here. So shuffle your discard pile into your deck, and then we would draw a card. So yeah, let's do that. This card is not in our discard pile. Keep that in mind. It's still in front of us. So we are taking those cards, and then yeah, we are shuffling the hell out of this deck. Again, we are playing this focus now. Really not our strongest card anyway. Ah, this is disappointing. This is truly disappointing. Let's make a cut. We are drawing an extra card, and that's the Spice Hunter. And maybe that indeed might have at least given us a slight chance to make something out of this round, because they allow us to send 1 of our agents to the Fremen. Of course, they have this Fremen bond, they have a lot of stuff, but I think I have to do that. So that was kind of okay. So we are moving in here to the Hardy Warrior. So we have to spend a water for that. We had 1 water still. We get 1 reputation with the Fremen, and we gain 2 of our army cubes, and they can go directly into the, it's a combat space, they can go into the combat area. And I think this might be really worth it to move this guy in here too. Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. So let's see about that. Maybe this will play out in one way or the other. Then it's House Raban. They will conspire with the Emperor, which is also bad. So they will send someone in here. They will gain 2 troops, but again, not a combat space. They have a hell lot of troops now in their garrison. And of course, they will bump their reputation up by 1, which means they just got their 3rd victory point already. Last action for Thorwald here. They cannot go to Arrakeen, that's already taken. They can go to the selective breeding, which simply means they get 1 more reputation in here. Ooh. I think they don't get this reward here, the extra entry card, but they will claim this token. And then this is another victory point, unless they have to give it up. So someone has to be farther up this track to take this away from House Thorwald. Okay, but yeah, that was their action. It's our last action for the round. But before we decide anything, let's use our prescience ability. That's the Imperial Spy. Very tasty, but does it really help me? I would really like to play that Gunthopter. Each opponent loses 1 garrison troop, but it doesn't really hurt Raban because he has 200 in there, and House Thorwald doesn't have any of those. So I think let's not play that. Let's simply go for the Signet Ring instead. And again, we can trigger those in any order. So let's draw our card. We know what it is. That's a buying power and a sword. So maybe not the worst thing in the world. We have 3 on our hand plus 2. So we have in total 5 buying power, which isn't bad. I think 5 buying power is something that could help us. But we can still send our agent to one of those 3 spaces. And here it's kind of a pity that we cannot go to the siege Tabor. It's really a very powerful space, giving us water and some troops, but we have to have 2 influence before we are allowed to go there. So I guess, yeah, we will go to the Imperial Basin, and that gives us at least some spice. And again, 2 spice could be 6 money when we go to the Chome board in a later turn or so. So I will take it. That's definitely not the worst thing in the world. Then we still have the Beast with his last action for the round. And of course, he goes to the Harvest Spice. Ah, that's terrible. Again, they will go with 4 spice from this space. Poof. Okay, that's what it is. It's a combat space, which means they're moving 2 troops in here. Right now we are still in the lead, but now he is competing, so he will draw a battle card or a combat card, and that's the terrible news about it. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. And that's pretty much the end of the normal agent turn. I will take my reveal turn now. So we have a dagger and we have the Gunthopter. That's 4 more weapons here and 5 more weapons and 3 buying power. So I think overall 5 more daggers are okay. Let's see where we stand actually. So they're at 4, they're at 4. We are at 6 here because of that, and we get 5 more, so we are at 11. So there is a slight chance, and honestly I don't know if there is a 7 out there. I think the strongest I have seen might have been 5. I guess we should be able to win this one actually. Okay, that's not bad. I still can buy cards before we move into the combat. Again, I'm at 5 with these 2 cards and the 2 from our High Council. And I guess with 5 I have to go for the Sardaukar Legion. Yeah, I think I have to. I really do. So that's 5 goes into our discard pile. All the other cards go into our discard pile. We are drawing a new card. Opulence, also a very, very nice card, because you can basically cash in 6 coins for a victory point when playing this in a reveal turn. Are you kidding me? I need this card badly. I really do. Okay, then let's move into combat. And here the good thing is they will go first. I think it was House Thorwald who has to draw first. Yep. That's a 0. I take that. And then it's Raban. And that's a 4. Okay, Raban will get up to 4. Not sure if I like this or not actually, but okay, that card has been played. I could now decide to basically retreat 3 of my troops with my staged incidents. I'm not going to. I really want to win this conflict, and obviously I did. So we are getting our 2nd victory point and a water. Hooray! And I really hope I haven't messed this up with the water before. 2nd is clearly Raban, so they will gain 1 more thing. So we will cash it in for a 5 there too. And they will also get a water, so they're already at 2 water. And keep in mind they're cashing in 3 water for victory point 2. So let's remove all this stuff here. And we are going into the makers. Only the Great Flat gets an extra 1, and then we are returning all of our meeples and moving into the next round. But I think for today I will call it. So I really, really, really hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Dune Imperium. I must say I really like this game a lot. The solo game feels so tense. It's really so easy to follow what House Hagal or the 2 AI players are doing, and it's really feeling challenging. Huge shout out to all of my patrons. As usual, really do appreciate your support a lot. If you want to support my channel, you will find a link to my page on Patreon. You can click the join button here to join my community on YouTube. Like and subscribe, that also greatly helps. And yeah, really hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.